En el sistema de justicia penal, los delitos contra el género se consideran especialmente atroces. En la nación de Fontaine, los dedicados detectives que investigan estos crueles delitos son miembros de un escuadrón de élite, conocido como Espina de Ruzola. Estas son sus historias.
Chicos, chicas, ¿cómo están? ¿Qué os cuenta la vida? Aquí Vampire con un nuevo video para el canal. Y esta vez estamos en otro episodio más de Genshin Impact. Y bueno, si recuerdas en el episodio anterior, dependiendo de qué haya decidido subir, qué haya decidido no subir, pues hemos sacado lo que es el tema del primer acto de lo que es la aventura de Fontaine. Hemos justamente pasado por un juicio en el que hemos defendido a nuestro pana del alma, Lainey. Bueno, ya no tan pana del alma porque a Eder pues le jode un poco el tema este de que sea un miembro de los Fatuis. Pero a mí no me importa porque yo no soy racista, a diferencia de la gente que hay acá en esta ciudadela de Fontaine. Y la cosa es que sí, como pueden ver, he desactivado el punto de transporte correspondiente porque, bueno, había un evento que decidí esto no hacerlo. Bueno, de hecho ni siquiera grabarlo porque era pura cinemática sin voice acting. Y cuando eso sucede yo no grabo, así de sencillo, porque no voy a estar todo el rato leyendo puros textos. Cosa que un poco molesta cuando eso sucede. La cosa es que sí, está toda esta área justamente desbloqueada, como pueden apreciar. No es desbloqueado esta área todavía, a pesar de que ya la he explorado en profundidad, y por eso es que dije al inicio, no sé qué clase de video voy a estar subiendo, porque he grabado cómo es el tema de la exploración por acá, pero aún estoy en duda de si llegar a publicarlo o no. Hay una zona que he marcado literalmente porque luego del juicio ya no quería absolutamente saber nada de Fontaine, pero ahora sí quiero saber algo de Fontaine. Quiero saber cómo es que continúa este quilombo que se ha formado. Quiero ver qué pasa más adelante, porque recordemos que Tarcletas está por acá. Y también quiero saber un poco más del caso de las chicas desaparecidas, porque parece que la gente en Twitter, pues esto no quiere decir absolutamente nada de estas cosas que yo creo que deberían estar hablando a este punto, pero nadie quiere hablar. Así que esperemos a que la música entre en coordinación y le vamos a transportarse. Un poco de delay por ahí, pero no importa. A ver, dijo que teníamos que dirigirnos a lo que es la forja otra vez. Si mal no me equivoco, eso es lo que marcaba la misión. Una claridad como la de antaño. En efecto, por aquí está la forja. No, está al bistrol de Airport. Ese es un edificio adentro, ¿no? Espero que el menú que esté aquí adentro sea bonito, aunque sea. Porque en Kalos no te dejaban entrar edificios.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Mientras no sea sopa alemana, yo estaré bien.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
Y sirvan mucha comida, por favor, que me llena de quicio el hecho de que ustedes hayan pasado por una hambruna tremenda mucho antes de la Revolución Francesa y hoy en día estén comiendo platillos del tamaño de, vamos, 5 milímetros literalmente.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
¿Qué será? ¿Nadie le ha llamado la atención eso?
Ooh,
Vale,
everything looks so good.
menos mal.
People in Fontaine sure know how
Plato
to enjoy
lleno.
life.
Así es como se come. Por eso es que Perú es el destino gastronómico. Porque nosotros sí servimos todo el plato. Francia, una minúscula.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
No, en serio, ha sido un gran placer trabajar contigo. De verdad, tienes cosas de la protagonista de CSI. Cosa que me agrada.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
Al menos tenemos el modus operandi.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Podrían empezar investigando qué clase de negocios pues distribuyen esa clase de agua que hace que la gente de Fontaine se disuelva.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
No lo iban a hacer, o sea, igual lo iban a silenciar.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct.
Por dos.
It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
Eso y la corrupción. Tranquilamente puede ser que el Estado esté involucrado en ese caso. Y cuando eso sucede, las investigaciones avanzan lentos o directamente se archivan. Lo sé por experiencia.
It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough.
Y con experiencia me refiero a los dominicales que pasan a cada rato en mi país.
Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right?
Al contrario, Navia. Yo me veía incluso Law and Order UVD, Unidad de Víctimas Especiales, y por ende este caso sí me interesa.
Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
No hemos tenido la oportunidad de hablar con Furina en un ambiente que no sea judicial.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Énfasis en que no es tan fácil hablar con ella, porque está en plan juicio 24/7.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Como sea infiltrarme en su cuarto, voy a apagar el juego.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play, don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Sí, aparte, ¿qué pasaría si es que a algunos de los actores le pasa un accidente, como le pasó a Cromwell, y como nosotros estemos allí, otra vez acabaremos en juicio? Tranquilamente puede ser ese un modus operandi que los Fatuis estén yendo contra nosotros para tratar de hacer que, bueno, eliminarnos de su ecuación.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then, wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Eso es algo que los Sims enfermos se furinarían, y yo voy al psicólogo, por ende no estoy enfermo.
I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
¿En serio?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
Tiene razón, ahorita su estado mental no es el mejor, así que engañarla de esa manera podría servirnos, pero tampoco garantiza que nos dé respuestas correctas a lo que estamos preguntando.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Vale la pena intentarlo.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
La mía sabe igual.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
Blacklist también es una muy buena serie de criminalística, pero no le gana a la canción de Cuarteto de Nos. Sé que morís por descubrir qué lugar ocupas en mi cabeza y que no te deja dormir en paz saber si estás en mi lista negra.
If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Muy bien, termina la cena de celebración. Y aquí es donde viene la intersección hacia el siguiente caso, ¿verdad?
So full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Pues camina.
Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
Ah,
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
parece que le está costando pagar.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority.
Créeme, Navia, estoy segurísimo que vamos a volver a vernos más adelante.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
Bon voyage. Creo que eso decían en una serie de investigación que veía. Una llovizna inesperada. Capítulo 4, acto 2. Muy bien, vayamos a la plaza de la fuente que hay frente a la ópera. Iniciar la operación, encontrarnos con Furina as soon as possible. Muy bien, estamos acá en donde está la ópera, donde hemos librado el juicio más juicio de todos los juicios. Y ahora tenemos que dirigirnos a la fuente sagrada, donde la gente pone sus deseos para que sus crías salgan bien, pues. Y hay un montón de palomas que no pude cazar, por lo que parece.
There aren't many people around
Necesito
anymore.
comida,
Looks like that boat we
recursos
took
y
to
todo
Aeneas
eso.
might have been the last one.
Vache.
Basher.
Looks like we're back here again.
Ajá.
Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Sí, y con más claridad que cuando era de día.
Ugh, that's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Nah, estoy bien, esto ya es cosa de todos los días.
Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
Siento una fuerte emoción.
Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right?
Correcto.
Hey, traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
¿Una oceánida?
Vache, are you my dear Vache?
No, disculpa, se está confundiendo con otra persona.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache?
Disculpa,
Know where my love is?
no conozco ningún Basher.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
Antes eras una persona.
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form.
Forma, conciencia.
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
¿Una de las chicas que se disolvió?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
Necesitas que te traiga Basher.
No, our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
Estoy seguro de que él no te ha olvidado.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing.
La traicionó.
If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
Basher fue testigo de cómo te disolvías.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
El cuerpo se disuelve, el alma no.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
¿Cuánto tiempo habrá pasado en la realidad?
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Wow, ¿qué chucha está sucediendo?
Look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
De hecho, la palabra correcta es acoso.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sí, aquí no está Christian Cage.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Si no, ya estaría muerto. De seguro tus dos Sims ya estarían mareándolo ahorita y quitándole el campeonato TNT por haber insultado y diciendo, oye, ¿cómo está tu padre? Y todo lo demás.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
Sí, más importante, ¿cómo carajos ustedes llegaron hacia acá? ¿Y por qué me están atacando todos? Es que, a ver, yo estaba averiguando cosas sobre el caso de las chicas desaparecidas. Antes dije que el Estado podría estar involucrado. Si de verdad saben de que yo me estaba comunicando con una desaparecida, pues entonces estaban tratando de silenciarme. Por ende, el Estado ya de por sí sabe que hay algo que está sucediendo con las desaparecidas y eso lo convierte en cómplice al Estado. ¿No? Eso es como funciona la criminalística, ¿no?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me.
No, eso es incorrecto. Porque al fin y al cabo, ya tienes a alguien a tu lado, que es alguien que sabe, a un testigo. Eso ya es una información bastante valiosa y de seguro ese testigo ya no está afiliado a ese grupo criminal y por ende ya no pueden disolverlo. Es una cuestión de carrera contra el reloj a ver quién llega primero al testigo.
And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
Oficina judicial. Fácil el implicado de todo este caso tenga que ver con la oficina judicial o tenga nexos allí.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law.
Vale. Entonces debió haber sido un fabricante. Claro, el fabricante de esos robots debió tener un nexo con esos implicados para culpar a los del Estado.
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means,
Ajá,
deploying them as a private force of sorts.
exactamente lo que estaba pensando.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish.
Vale, o sea que este caso es de un montón de tiempo o un poco tiempo reciente. Y el padre de Navia ha sido silenciado por querer descubrir la verdad.
Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
¿No es la única buena noticia que tienen hoy día?
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations.
I know, she's...
¿Quién acaba de pasar?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Navia and her gang saved us!
Sí, ustedes no debieron haberme seguido, o sea, eso también aplica acoso. O sea, ya de por sí Cloende te está siguiendo, te está acosando y toda la vaina. No es ético que tú también estés haciendo lo mismo conmigo. No, es algo lógico, I guess.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Gracias por salvarnos, Navia. En serio sabía de que no sería lo último que veríamos de ti.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast.
Sí, tienes el dinero para eso.
As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow?
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
A mí también me pareció extraño, pero no estaba seguro.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
Estaban tratando de silenciar a Navia.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Menos mal que ni Paimon ni yo somos de Fontaine. Fuck, nos están tratando de aplicar lo que pasa en las series de narcos a cada rato. Fontaine literalmente es Latinoamérica en los 90. Ya lo dije antes con el comentario del perro en dos patas. Y si alguno entendió la referencia, lugar en la memoria. Eso nomás voy a decir.
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh. Now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Te recuerdo, ahora tenemos el nombre de un testigo, Bacher. Ese testigo probablemente sea muy importante y por ende tienen que silenciarnos as soon as possible.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Paimon no podía escuchar la voz que salía de la fuente, pero ya la empezó a escuchar luego de haber bebido esa agua de mar primigenio.
Well,
Paimon,
it should
ladra.
be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
Lynette dijo que podría estar relacionado con mi sensibilidad al elemento hydro.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
Tengo información nueva en ese caso.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Sí.
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
La voz de la fuente era una chica desaparecida. Ella dijo que un tal Bancher ha visto cómo se ha disuelto. Tenemos el nombre de un testigo.
Oh, that is important.
Cuenta todo lo que ocurrió cuando tu conciencia se conectó con la Oceánida.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately.
Algo que estoy pensando ahorita es que probablemente Bacher sea el nombre de una mascota. O sea que era testigo, estaba de seguro paseando, tomó alguna suerte de agua allí porque estaba haciendo ejercicios, qué sé yo, con su mascota a su lado. Y pues Bacher fue la que, o él, la mascota que la vio disolverse. Eso también puede ser posible.
Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
Hay que ir a buscarlo.
Rápido.
Thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
De acuerdo, socia.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Tengo experiencia viendo series criminales. Nómbramelas. Law and Order UVD, Law and Order Criminal Intent, CSI Miami, CSI New York, CSI, la serie esa de tecnología que solamente tuvo 2 temporadas y después la cancelaron. NCIS Los Ángeles, Numbers. Tú nómbrame cualquier serie de criminalística y es muy probable que yo ya la haya visto. Así que si hay alguien que puede jugar esta aventura sin morir de cringe, soy yo.
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Aparte, yo tengo el plot armor. No podrán eliminarme tan sencillo.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Who are you? Who are you? Aún me acuerdo un poco lo que es el temita que pasaba en el inicio de CSI, la serie original, Criminalistica Investigation, pero muy poco me acuerdo de CSI New York, que para mí está bastante infravalorada, de verdad. A ver, tenemos que ir a la base de Spina Rosula en la corte de Fontaine para continuar. Así que creo que eso queda un poquito muy lejos. No, queda al otro lado de la esquina. De hecho, donde está toda la zona en donde se está realizando el evento este de miércoles.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
Ya.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Bien.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Ve al alojamiento que te ha preparado Navia, que es justamente en la zona subterránea de Fontaine. Que supongo que tendremos que bajar por acá, por el alcantarillado. Esto ya parece de esas series estilo steampunk. Y tenemos que bajar por todo este lugar. Ni siquiera hay una escalera fija por aquí. Tendré que usar un punto de transporte o algo para no perderme. ¡Wup! Casi me rompo la madre con esta escalera de por acá. Dios mío, que aquí está recontra desorganizado para hacer una asociación llena de gente millonaria que solamente se dedica a investigar crímenes. Y con gente millonaria me refiero a Navia y sus 3 lacayos, sims, como sea. Hay un individuo por acá. Ok. No lo interrumpamos, que está en su vida de esto. Hace tiempo que ya no veo Tengen Topaguren Nagan, pero sé que había un término para la gente que vivía debajo de la tierra, pero no me acuerdo muy bien cómo era ese término, pero me recuerda bastante a esas épocas en donde yo veía Tengen Topaguren Nagan. A ver, ahí hay niños incluso, hay como una segunda vida debajo de este lugar. Me recuerda un poco a Sumeru, que allí también había una segunda vida en el mercado ese, Gran Bazar. Sí, allí que yo también creía que había un montón de gente que adoraba a la diosa arconte original. Por ahí hay un mirador y hay un punto de transporte, que es lo que a mí me interesa. Hay como un logo por allí. Una claridad como la de antaño habla con Melus. Mirador. Me llama la curiosidad un poco los símbolos que hay por allí. Ejemplo, lo que hay en medio y al costado, que parece un siglo de un restaurante. Activamos el punto de transporte porque creo que estaremos por acá mucho tiempo. Y de verdad parece como un mercado todo esto. Y aquí está la oficina de Spina Rosula, I guess. Sí, con razón el logo. Aunque parece más el restaurante que de un
This
centro de
is your
investigación.
space? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Entiendo, porque hay que ahorrar costos y porque si están a la luz del día, probablemente los oficiales los silencien al toque.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Donaciones.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
Ya me imagino un montón de creadores de contenido promocionando su Patreon en esta parte de la aventura.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Lo silenciaron, así de sencillo. Estaba investigando mucho un caso y decidieron silenciarlo por el bien de la trama.
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful. In this 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor, instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that.
Lo hizo porque él cree en otro sistema de justicia. Él está en contra de los métodos que usa el arconte Airo para llevar los juicios a cabo. Él no quería formar parte de un espectáculo que sea un insulto para la justicia y para el derecho. Así que por eso decidió tomar la otra ruta.
How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
¿No tienes alguna pista?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Again, lo que hicieron silenciar.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records.
Él sabía mejor. Cuando nos enfrentamos a Furina, siempre tuvimos nuestras pruebas a la mano para refutar cualquier pendejada que dijese. Pero en el caso del padre de Navia, pues ella no tenía nada. Por ende, si es que hubiera ido a juicio, el padre a la primera huevada que se cree Furina para mandar a pastar al padre de Navia, pues hubiera quedado sin manera de refutarla. Esa sería la verdad absoluta. La máquina de seguro se la creería y pues hubiera terminado muerto de todas maneras. Tal vez ya de por sí sabía que cualquiera de las opciones hubiera sido peor y eligió la manera en cómo él deseaba morir, sin tener que manchar su honor en lo que él respecta su concepto de honor.
However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something.
Yo también, yo de verdad creo que lo han querido silenciar.
I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me.
F.
And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Solo quiere saber la verdad, nada más. En eso tenemos algo de similitud.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
La persona que lo habrá acusado de seguro haya tenido un estatus tan alto que la gente crea que lo que dijo haya sido la verdad absoluta y nada más que la verdad absoluta.
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that.
Furina pudo haber acusado a Calas.
People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
Y por eso veo wrestling.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Miss Clorand.
I knew it. Lo sabía antes de empezar a jugar esta parte de la historia, pero no dije nada.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
Ahora entiendo por qué Navia se comportaba así con Clorinde.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ajá.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Tal como lo pensé, Calas tenía la intención de morir en el duelo.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me?
No has estado enfrentando la muerte cara a cara últimamente, Navia. Así que allí un poco se va la lógica de tu parte, pero yo entiendo más o menos por qué lo hizo.
All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
Claro, es algo importante para ti, y eso es lo que importa.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Sí.
Yeah. Paimon's beat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Muy bien. Voy a dejar el episodio hasta acá. De verdad es que necesito un poco de descanso después de toda esta montaña rusa de emociones. Pero voy a abrir una suerte de expediente que va a ser en realidad un archivo que guardaré en el drive que tengo de la universidad. Y allí voy a colocar cualquier cosa clave que sabemos del caso de las chicas desaparecidas, porque quiero que esto sea como una suerte de homenaje a todas las series criminalísticas que me he visto con mi padre y de alguna manera un homenaje a mi padre por todo lo que ha hecho por mí. Ahora, lo importante que tenemos aquí ahorita, tenemos un nombre, Banchuar, que es el nombre de un testigo. Tenemos que las chicas desaparecidas aparentemente cuando son disueltas se transforman en oceánidas. Sabemos también de que el padre de Navia investigó este caso anteriormente. Lo han puesto en un punto de jaque en el que no podía defenderse y por ende optó por la opción de duelo, muriendo en el acto. También se sabe que Clorinde es la persona nueva encargada de proteger a Navia. Y ahora sabemos que la gente involucrada en el caso de chicas desaparecidas está detrás de Navia. Así que sí, eso creo que es toda la información que sabemos de momento. Por mi parte, esto tal vez haya añadido alguna que otra cosa en la edición. Y bueno, nada más que decirles, si os ha gustado el video, pueden darle like, compartirlo con si eres un fanático de Navia, fanático de Clorinde, o simplemente te gustan las cosas saladas, porque Cloro es Sorio, am I right? Tengo Twitter para que me sigan, y hasta aquí Vampire. Nos vemos en el siguiente video, donde continuaremos con este caso, que está un poquito llamando la atención mía, solo como fanático de las series criminalísticas que soy.